What's up, YouTube fam? It's your girl Mona, back with another episode of Vibing with Mona. If this is your first time vibing with us, welcome. If not, welcome back, fam. When you notice your mental health declining, do one small thing that brings you peace. Take a shower, text a loved one, or just step outside. I say that to say, one little step is all you need to remind yourself that this is not permanent. And with that being said, let's vibe. Per usual, do not forget to smash that like button, comment, and subscribe. And also do not forget to turn on your notifications so you are aware every time I post a new video. Before we jump into anything, please be advised that I do not own the rights to any music or instrumentals that you hear in the background. I am using them for video purposes only. And I don't know if you guys hear all this background noise, but I am sitting outside again today on my patio, enjoying the little breeze that is out here, and yeah, just enjoying Florida life. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and as it comes to an end, I just want to provide a couple of tips to help cope with mental health. Mental Health Month raises awareness of the impact it can have on your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. I've spoken about mental health before, but this subject is not going away, and there are still some people out there that need help coping with mental health or helping a loved one cope. To be able to cope or help a loved one cope with the mental illness, you must first know the warning signs. Some common signs of mental illnesses are withdrawal from social interactions, problem functioning at school, work, or any other social activities, and change in sleep and appetite, just to name a few. Now be mindful, these are potential warning signs of mental health problems, but they can also be related to other issues as well. So make sure you always consult with your physician or have your loved one consult with the physician if they show any warning signs or any irregular behaviors. One of the best ways to help a loved one cope with mental illness is to find out all you can about their condition and speak to a medical professional for tips and a better understanding. Always do your research to educate yourself so that you are better equipped to help your loved one get through their most trying moments. There are so many resources out there, such as support groups and even books to help educate yourself and supporting family and friends. Now, many of us grew up in a household where it was known that what happens in this house stays in this house. But we must break that stigma and reach out for support when it's needed. For those of you looking for support, make sure you look into the National Alliance on Mental Illness, also known as NAMI. This is a great resource in helping to support family and educate them on mental illness. I'll make sure to put a link in the description box below. Mental illness can be triggered by high levels of stress. If you or a loved one have experienced an episode, the worst thing that you can do immediately after being released from a hospital, for example, is try to make up for lost time. What I mean by this is, don't jump right back into the same high-level, stressful activity that broke you down before. Some of us have the tendency to be gone for an extended period of time, and when we return, we try to do enough to make up for the time we lost, while also trying to keep up with what needs to be done currently. We do this all the time, and we are human. Sometimes we need rest and relaxation, and a lot of the times our bodies will let us know when we need that relaxation. So don't ignore your bodies. Pay attention, because that was me when I caught COVID. I was out of work for a week because my body was too weak, but the week that I finally went back to work, I overworked myself. I know I overworked myself because I was exhausted, and I could feel myself becoming agitated and stressed by the smallest things. Like, I know me, so I know when it's time for me to put something down or just walk away from something and just come back at a later time. So yeah, I was overworking myself when I went back after COVID. I just felt like I needed to catch up, but sometimes it's okay, and sometimes people will understand, even though you may not think they will. Sometimes people understand. At the end of the day, your health means more than anything, means more than any job. So if they did feel some kind of way, like maybe that's not where you need to be because this is the worst thing that you can do. So encourage your loved ones to set a slower pace since added stressors can exacerbate symptoms. Take it one day at a time. One of the biggest things you can do is to treat them with respect no matter how symptomatic they are. They already feel like they've lost control of their lives, and they also suffer with self-esteem issues most of the time. Do not immediately deny them the opportunity to at least try. They still have the same capabilities to do things on their own. It may take a little longer sometimes, but that's okay. Give them a chance. Don't just cut them out immediately. I feel like the worst thing that you can do is just make somebody feel like they can't do it themselves. So just give them the opportunity to give it a shot before you just say, oh, I got it, I'll do it. It's always good to be there as a backbone, but still allow them to be their own person. It's just my opinion. As I recently stated, it's very important to treat your loved one with respect and allow them to exercise control. But you also must set limits for the sake of everyone's well-being. If they're supposed to take a medication to help control their anger, for example, make sure they are doing just that. In some extreme cases, the medication is very much needed, and the moment they stop taking it, everything goes down south. So you always want to think of the safety of everyone in the situation, and especially the younger kids in the house if you have any. Like sometimes, depending on the level of mental illness, it can be very detrimental to a younger child's upbringing. It's not easy dealing with someone who has a mental illness, so one of the most important things to remember as a supporter or caregiver is to be calm. Your actions can influence your loved one and can impact their symptoms. So avoid responding angrily despite the situation. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but it's better for you to walk away than to add fuel to the fire. That's the best way that I can put it. Just take a deep breath and think before responding. You want to avoid triggering them at all costs. These are just a few tips to help your loved one cope with mental illness, but there are so many different avenues and channels that provide other tips and resources to get the help that you or a loved one needs. This is not an easy conversation to have, and you are not expected to know all of the answers, but make sure you are there to listen when they are ready to talk. Sometimes a person just needs somebody to listen and not even respond. Sometimes they just need a shoulder to cry on, or sometimes they just need a hug. A lot of the times when they come to you, they're not looking for an opinion. They're just looking for someone to be there for them. So make sure you're there. You know, that's the biggest thing that you can do. I'll be the first person to say that I shut down when I go through my problems. I don't want to talk about it until I am ready to talk about it. So don't pressure them into speaking about something they may not be ready to talk about. Again, just be there, hanging in the background, waiting to catch them when they need it the most. As always, thank you guys for taking the time out to vibe with your girl on a very important subject. Make sure you guys check out my other mental health video if you haven't already, to better equip yourself with the knowledge you need to help a loved one. Until next time, practice self-care, stay humble, and positive vibes only. Thank you for vibing with Mona.